Hello, everybody. Welcome. I am Joni, and this is the Star Crochet Podcast. So, welcome to episode 6. Thank you for joining me on this episode. On these podcasts, I talk about things like any items that I've sold, any upcoming sales, any shop sales that are upcoming, any finished objects, any work in progresses, any yarn that I have bought for the business, if there are any new yarn that I have bought for the business, any answers to any questions that anybody have previously asked on previous videos, and any final thoughts. When it comes to anything that I have, like any notices or anything that I might change or switch with my business, that's whenever, all of that would be into these podcast videos. And so I talk about everything in detail, everything about my business in detail with these podcast videos. So thank you for joining me. And around this section right here, I like to talk about anything that I have been up to lately. You can feel free to tell me what you have been up to in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to read it and reply as well. And so what I have been up to is that, let's see, I've had a psychiatry appointment that went pretty well. If you know me, then you know that I'm very open about my mental illness, and I'd explain in the description below if you're wondering. Yeah, my psychiatry appointment went pretty well. I had some things to explain, some symptoms, and for example, I was what I hear in my room is completely different than what I hear when I open my door, and the actual energy that people have outside of my room is the complete opposite. So let's say that I hear inside my room, I hear somebody yelling. Then I open the door and it's actually somebody laughing. And let's say that another example, I'm hearing somebody that is saying that they're scared, and then I open the door and it's actually somebody that's like very happy energy and very calm. So what I hear in my room sometimes and what I hear that is actually going on is completely the opposite, and it's a little bit frustrating. It's part of what I go through on a daily basis, but it's okay. I manage. I'm on a lot of medications, and so with the appointment, I did not have any changes in medication because I'm already on so much. And from what I can see, I think is that the medications are working greatly. I mean, the best that they can. So we'll see where that takes me, because I know when it comes to medications like that I'm on as well, that a body builds a tolerance to the medications, and then a change will need to be made at least 6 months from the original time taking. And that's what I've noticed on my pattern. And we'll see, because I'm already at the max level of medications without, taking too much. And so we'll see where that goes. I don't know. I'm trying to find the right words. I'm not that great with words, but we'll see where the journey goes with my mental illness. And along with that, this is the podcast for crochet. So I just wanted to give a little update of how I've been, what I've been up to. I usually stay in my room. I don't have anybody to talk to. I don't have anybody that I consider friends really that I hang out with. I try hanging out with people, and it's either that I am too awkward or too weird to hang out with or too creepy to hang out with or something, but I try not to be, but so I just stick to myself in my room, and I have, my parents as my friends, my sister as my friend when we go out to hang out and stuff. So, I mean, that's all I need, right? Is family. So, those are my best friends. Is like family and extended family. Those are the true friends. Except for one branch of the family, but they don't exist. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother. Anyway, uh, welcome. I know I said that so many times. I'm so sorry. So, about last episode, if you've seen multiple times where the videos has skipped to different, I'm thinking, here I go again. Okay, so where it has skipped to different parts where it has jumped over, where it seemed to have jumped over a couple seconds of the video, little skips like that, is because I edited out every time I said, and it got bad. So I am trying to work on that. And I'm I'm I noticed I did that a lot in the last video, and so I try to edit out every time I said that. Not every time, but just when I paused and then said it and then pause again, and that was bad because I did that a lot on the last episode. And I'm trying my hardest not to do that anymore because I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a viewer, and then listening to that, I don't want to hear that in my ears. So I wouldn't want to put you all in that situation again. So I hope I do a lot better this time and future times as well. So that being said, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab some water, your crochet project, your knitting project, and let's begin. So you see my bangs are doing a little thing of their own right now. Anyway, with the upcoming shop sales, I still have the Halloween shop sale, and it runs from October 24th midnight all the way to November 1st midnight of 2023 of this year. And that includes every item on the listings of my Etsy shop, which I have down below in the description box. The link is in the description box, and it includes every item will be 25% off. And for example, things like, I know I said the cowl before twice before on the episodes. For another example, here's a different example. For the unisex sweater I have is listed right now for $239.94. On sale with a 25% off, it'll give you $179.95. So that's a good chunk of change, that it takes off. So if you are a person that likes to take advantage of the sales when it comes to shopping, I would say Halloween is your sale. And like I said, it runs from October 24th to November 1st, midnight to midnight. And so it's an 8-day stretch if you are a person that likes to shop for sales. And I love sales too. I love thrifting. I love going to consignment shops. I love doing stuff like that. So hey, I'm right there with you. So the finished objects I have, I'm sure you saw them all in the thumbnail and you're wondering, dang, did she make that many? Well, technically, not all of them for this past week. I technically made about half of them for this past week. So I will get to the details of everything when it comes to showing every product that I have made. So these are leg warmers that I have made, and these are my finished objects. And here I have is both 4-weight. I worked with acrylic yarn and cotton yarn, and I used I have some right here, hang on just a second. I used the Capri Eco Cotton for the cotton yarn, which is, I believe, 15% polyester and the rest is cotton, 85% cotton. And then I used the Big Twist. I honestly don't recall what kind of acrylic yarn this is, but I guarantee you it's the Big Twist yarn because that's what kind of acrylic yarn I've been working on for the past several years. And when it comes to that, I've had my fair share. I've had enough of the Big Twist acrylic yarn. So this is actually the acrylic yarn that I've been working with for these leg warmers. I have been using scrap yarn. So I am trying to finish everything that complete what I have left of the scrap yarn so I can make use of everything before I buy more yarn. And I like to try to do that when it comes to using yarn and crocheting with the yarn because I don't like wasting yarn. And if I do end up wasting yarn, it's a form of me sending full skeins of yarn to the thrift store. So it's not wasting. But if it's something that it turns out to be cakes, like I'll cake up into like these, into a yarn ball winder, I will try to use the best I can of these out of how many that I have. If they are like these, where they're not full skeins of yarn that I cannot donate to the thrift store. So what I used with this is the ribbing stitches, and then down here, also along with the bell bottoms down here, I used, I don't know what kind of stitch this is called. I just went along with what I felt would be awesome to try with the look of it. I actually did these leg warmers over a couple years ago, and I put them as a listing over a couple years ago on my Etsy, and then I took them down because at the time I thought nobody's buying them, so I got to take it down. I had that mindset that if nobody was going to buy them, I should take them down. So I had them in my room hanging out with the other finished objects and other objects that are on list as listings on Etsy. I had them as well around that area. And then I looked at these. I'll show you what they look like as other finished objects. These are the ones that I had finished, and see they have ribbon as well, and I want to do that with the ones that I have made this past week. So these are the ones that I have completed over a couple years ago, and I forgot where I was getting to at first. I apologize for that. I was trying to backtrack, but I do that sometimes, and I apologize. So it comes with a ribbon, and that's what I would like it to keep coming with. So it goes above the knee when you put these over your legs as leg warmers, and then right above the knee is where you fasten these with a ribbon, the thick ribbon. So yes, the stitch that I have used for this, it goes over the standard. If you're a crocheter, you'd know what I'm talking about. Like how these are right here, and this is where you typically crochet. Where I crocheted was about right here to get this look. So that's the stitch that I used, and I don't know what the stitch is called. And that's what I did for this. And then I have this thick ribbon that I used. This is the pear right here. And the body is the same stitch ribbing. I love the ribbing stitch. I tend to stick to that a lot. And it also has a white ribbon as well that you can fasten above the knee. This size is a smaller size for a petite or shorter person that decides to wear this. And this is the second pair that I had made years ago that I knew I had to keep for a reason. And the same thing, ribbed with, would I call it an unknown stitch? I'm not sure. As bell bottoms and down the center as well. But this is black ribbon, and I kind of want to stay away from that actually. I might want to use white ribbon from here on out. So this is also the same size. It has a shorter height for the shorter stature of people that decide to wear this. And I do remember that I have questions that I want to answer when it comes to each finished object, so I will get to those. I just want to show everything that I have made as finished objects first for this past week. So I had shown this as the very first thing. I also had made these as this past week. For this past week, I have made these. And it's the same scrap yarn, the red scrap yarn with the Eco Twist. I don't remember what I said when it comes to this cotton yarn, but I do remember it's the 15% polyester and 85% cotton. Oh, goodness. I would like to put the white ribbon on the rest of the remaining warmers that I create. See, here I go with that. I do it unknowingly, and then I have to, I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I'm not going to cut these ones out, though, because I'm showing that I'm trying. I'm actually trying. So let's see how this goes. I can do this. Yeah. Okay. Now with the questions for each finished object. I have 4 questions still with me, and it's right here with along with my guide of how I want these podcasts to go. So, do I enjoy the colors of this first one we're doing? Yes, I do. It's a primary color with a secondary color, which is it's nice. It's nothing too much for the eyes. It's nothing like red and pink, which will be too hard to differentiate for some people, I assume. Because if this was a pink, it would be too hard to tell the difference of where the difference of the red and pink begin and end, and I don't want to have to do that for people that have a hard time seeing color differently. Was it complicated to work with? No, it was not complicated to work with. Thinking about it now, since I have that question in there, I might always answer no for being complicated to work with, as long as I have anything to show you all as finished objects. I try to work on things that is not complicated to work with for my mental state, and I try to work with things that are easy enough to assemble, that are complex enough to assemble from my brain, where it is keeps me busy, keeps my brain busy, and it's fun to remember. Okay, next question. Did I catch a rhythm while crocheting? So for the ribbing, yes I did. For this unknown stitch, and if any of you know the name of this stitch, please comment below so I'm aware of the stitch and I can name it properly. I can call it properly. Thank you. So did I catch a rhythm while crocheting? With this stitch right here, I would say yes I did, but it was a slow rhythm. Nothing like machine mode or anything like ribbing typically does. And then would I work with this yarn again? I would say with this, assuming that it was Big Twist, no, because I am trying to change acrylic yarns. I realized that I had complained a lot in the last video about acrylic yarn and the cheapest yarns or value yarns, and looking back, I feel bad about that now. I just feel I need to switch acrylic yarns, and I will be doing that as time moves on. And so ideally, I would not like to work with Big Twist yarn again. I would like to work with a different form of acrylic yarn. One that I've worked with when I began crocheting altogether, which is, it's a secret, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna give away my, can't give away my secrets as a business, right? And when I work with this yarn again, the 15% polyester, 85% cotton, I would, yes. It's a softer cotton. It's not how some people say how the lily sugar and cream cotton yarn, which is 100% cotton, how that is industrial cotton, correct? Am I correct? Yes? Yes? Okay. How that is more sturdy and more for shaping, but it's not soft to the touch, quite soft. This is more soft. This is more flexible. This is more for apparel. For some people say garments, but I say apparel. For clothing. It's more durable for clothing. So yes, I would work with the cotton polyester blend again. I would not work with the Big Twist anymore. Being that this is the same style and the same yarn that I have used for both parts of these leg warmers, I'm not going to ask the same questions again. Now with these, I would like to answer the same questions. Okay. Do I enjoy the colors? Yes, I do. It's like a baby pink, and then it has a multi-pink as well. So it's still soft to the eyes, it's soft to the emotions, it's soft to the way you approach this leg warmer. Was it complicated to work with? No, see, I told you all I would answer it no if I have made it an item, an object. Did I catch a rhythm while crocheting? Yes, I did, for the ribbing. And same thing with this patch pattern. It took some time to create it. Would I work with this yarn again? I need to address something here. This is the Michaels Loops and Threads impeccable yarn, acrylic yarn, right here and right here. So I need to address that having this around and the fact that I have not washed it in so long, it doesn't matter because I have not worn it. It is very scratchy, it is very stiff, it is very if cardboard had a feeling with yarn. And I know that if I washed this, it would be soft all over again, but then over time it would be stiff all over again. So I will not work with impeccable again, because buying the yarn, it's soft, it's nice, and it's expensive too for the amount they give you. So I'm going to compare something. This compared to this. The reason why I'm comparing this big twist yarn is because I have sweaters that I still have not sold in over a year, and it's still soft like this. I can still rub my fingers across it and it's still a nice touch. Would it be fair if I compared these leg warmers, which are over 2 or 3 years old, to, let's say, the sweater that I made, which is over a year old? Yes, because it shouldn't take any time for acrylic yarn to feel sturdy, to feel stiff, to feel scratchy, to feel uncomfortable. It shouldn't take any time for yarn to feel like that, being acrylic yarn. And I will not be using impeccable again. I know that there are some small business crocheters that use impeccable a lot, but whenever you read into what you're buying out of crocheters and they say 100% acrylic, you might want to ask what brand it is. As a business owner, telling a customer or a viewer or somebody that likes to learn things, maybe ask what brand they're using. And if they say impeccable, you might need to wash your product a couple times before you even wear it, use after use. And you don't want to have to do that, because most of the times acrylic yarn is now saying don't machine wash, or at least don't machine dry. And with every item that I use, that I make, and that I list, I say hand wash, hang dry, or hand dry, lay flat to dry. I don't trust washing machines or dryers, because it tends to stretch out the product, the acrylic product, very far, as much as it can when it's in the washing machine and dryer. So that's why I stick with everything that I make to hand wash, lay flat to dry, or hang dry. Okay, that's all I have for the finished objects. So with work in progress, I only have one work in progress, and that is yet another leg warmer. So with this one, it is going to be black and pink, something very retro, kind of bringing back the 80s, I guess you could say. So this part is already pink, and then the bell bottoms flare. The flared bell bottoms will be pink. And this is what I have going on right now. I'm working with scrap yarn again, and the 15% polyester and 85%, 75%, wow, no, that's 25. Is it? Yeah, so 85, I was right. 85% cotton. I thought I was wrong there for a second. I was about to, anyway. So the body is ribbed, back loops only again. And this cotton is the same stitch that I don't know what it is, but it's really pretty. And I'll show you. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. I know I said I'll never work with black again, but please bear with me. It's scrap yarn. I'm getting the final pieces of it. So please bear with me. I'm getting rid of it. It's you know how in the process of how people get rid of things, get rid of the past in their life and everything, they have to bless it and then let go of it or release it. This is what I'm doing with the black yarn. I'm blessing it and then I'm letting go or releasing it. So I know I said I'll never work with black yarn again, but I need to bless it first and then release it. So please bear with me. And that's the work in progress I have. So for the final thoughts, I don't really have many final thoughts. I know before I have mentioned that I will be putting on 4 stickers per package. I thought about that before, but then I also gave some more thought when I was calculating how much I would charge per item. And that's just more money that I would have to charge you as a customer per package. And that's not fair to you because if you don't like the stickers, then why would you want to pay for the stickers, partially pay for it, even if it's 4 cents per 4 stickers per package? I mean, you wouldn't want to pay for it either, as you're paying for the item as well. So I will not be putting any stickers on any packaging. I thought it was a great idea at first, but it's just thinking about it more. And that's another thing that I'm very thankful for, giving all this time before, I'll go ahead and say it, before God's promise to me, before I blow up and become, my business booms and everything, is that I have all this time to calculate supply and demand ahead of time, to calculate budgets of yarn and how many supply and demand increase prices I need before I can raise my budget of yarn, how to calculate shipping costs using everything added to each item divided by, you know what I mean, and my own formula to use. It's a correct formula to use. That's not some bullshit formula that just came out of my mind. I had time to be shown a correct formula to use for pricing, to gather all of the correct items that I need before I boom as a business. Enough time. Whereas a business, I have tried, I know I said all this year 13 years, but forgive me. This next coming year will actually be the 13th year, and I just calculated it wrong whenever it came to not posting, but just putting as the description how long it has been that I have been trying to be a business in the making. So this is the remainder of the 12th year that I have been trying to be a business, and this year coming up will be the 13th year. So 2024 will be the 13th year that I have been trying to be a business, a crochet business, entrepreneur. So I'm thankful for even having all of the 13 years, coming up to 13 years, of being able to work with all of the yarn that I worked with, all of the different types of yarns, the different types of blends, the different types of fibers. I learned very quickly what type of weight of yarn suits me best, and that is number 4 worsted weight. Over time, it took me to learn to actually crochet properly because it took me some time. This was not something like some crocheters where it took me 6 months to learn all those stitches and then be able to crochet professionally or something. No, it took me to crochet out of the 18 years that I have been crocheting in my life. It took me a good 6 years to be able to start producing items that look legit. And out of that 6 years, I was also, and even furthermore, I was also able to work with all sorts of yarn like Red Heart with Love, like, and I'm talking early on in the days too when I used to try these yarns out. Red Heart with Love, when they had their feature of the sports colors, the stripes of the sports colors. Sorry, I'm trying to stop that. There was this polyester yarn that was sold at Michael's, but then they got rid of it, and this was years ago. I can't remember what it's called though, but I used to like that a lot. I hope they come out with a new one, a new polyester yarn that's nothing like Lazy Days, because that seems to be thick for the 4-weight. But I am thankful for all of this time that I have had to plan everything I need, and to even plan projects in advance, to even plan prices to the projects in advance. And I will say, this new yarn that I will be working with, which I'm not going to tell, it'll be eligible for me to price items a little bit cheaper than they are right now. So, hooray to changes. Hooray to the future. I am excited for this new beginning that has already started. It takes time for things to come through. I'm ready for this. I'm excited. And I'm very thankful for everything I've gone through to get me to this point. Even all the traumatic things, it still helped me to get me to where I am right now. Final thoughts. So there are no questions that I've been asked lately. If you have any questions that you have been wondering about, either it's my business or about the yarn I use or about the projects that I make or the colors that I use, you can ask me anything that you would like in concerning my business, please, only in the comments below, and I will happily answer your question within the next episode. And with any questions that I've been asked within the previous episodes, I will happily answer the questions concerning my business only on the next episode as well. All right, guys, that's it. Episode 6. How did we do? So thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.